and welcome to our midnight soiree here in the beautiful South Lakes of the United Kingdom. It's just gone midnight, and I welcome you to our gathering. But first, if you have a candle nearby, would you like to light it with mine? Because we light this candle for peace and for interfaith unity. In the name of our beloved Father, Mother, God Supreme, who creates life, in the name of the risen cosmic Christ, who loves life, in the name of the Spirit, who is the fire of life, and in the name of Gaia, our beloved Earth Mother, who nurtures the divine in all life. In the name of all faith traditions and none, for they are the children of the loving God, our brothers and sisters, and for all gathered here, and especially for those not logged in, we light this light for you, that you too will experience in the coming 30 minutes the healing touch of the cosmic Christ. Let us relax now, and using the gift of free will, you and I were given a precious gift the moment we were born, and it was the gift of free will. So I would like to invite all our spiritual masters and teachers, the Lord Buddha, Vishnu, Ganesh, Krishna, Sri Chimoy, Francis of Assisi, the Cosmic Christ, our brother Gandhi, Mia Baba, Osho, Rumi, and also the Ascended Masters, with the company of heaven. So let us be still and relax. But first let us focus on our in-breath, our sacred breaths, and as we breathe in, feel the love of the Creator. Feel the love of Gaia as you breathe in pure love, and hold that love, and now release any tension or fear and give it to our beloved Earth Mother Gaia, and just relax and sense the peace all around you. Be still now. And we now invoke and call upon the company of heaven, the messengers of God. They do not represent religion. They represent divine love, and they come with many gifts that will allow us reawaken our heart to divine love. Here I would like to play a beautiful track by Shiana Knoll, and it's called Peace Be With You. Just sit back now and feel the love of the company of heaven.
Peace be with you, oh my dear one.
Peace be with you, precious child.
Peace be with you, oh
you, precious child.
You are blessed and you are holy. Precious gifts God gave to you. You are blessed and you are holy. You're an angel I can see. Peace be with you, oh my dear one. Peace be with you, precious child. Peace be with you, oh my dear one. Peace be with you, precious What a beautiful song, and the words speak to the heart. Peace be with you, precious child. Peace be with you. What does that mean to you? We live in a beautiful world. So many people try to trip me up and say, oh, it's an evil world. It's not evil. We live in a beautiful world. And for me as an interfaith Franciscan, I do not worship God in a building or a church, as I used to do as a Catholic nursing monk. I prefer to meet my God in creation, like Francis of Assisi. His spirituality was simple. He loved his Creator God, but he found that God in nature. And that is why many of the statues that you see of Francis, there are always animals with him, because he understood them. And they understood him. They felt safe with him, because he had such a reverence for the sacred in everything that lived, moved, and breathed. Is that how it is today? I don't think so. And that's why we come here every night at midnight, to celebrate our gifts. Gifts that you and I may take for granted. The gift of love, of being loved, because so many today, they tell you that they love you. But when you get right down to it, they struggle to love themselves. So if they do not love themselves, how can they truly say to you or me, I love you? The purpose of our coming together is to allow the divine touch us. We don't have to do anything out of the ordinary other than be still and receive. That is all the Father, Mother, God asks of you and me, that we be still, that we listen to our heart, our teacher. And if anything troubles us, if anything distresses us, we name it, we bless it, and we release it to God.
but to receive our spiritual abundance from God, all that is asked of us is to surrender our heart. The word surrender frightens a lot of people. They see it somehow as giving away their power, their control. Nothing could be further from the truth. You're actually giving nothing away, and you're not giving anything up. All you're doing is surrendering your heart to love. Allow me to read this to you. It's by a gentleman called John Clare, who lived in 1793, and it's called Nature Acknowledges God. Nature acknowledges God. Now, John Clare was an English poet who rose from a very poor background to relative prosperity as a published and famous poet. However, he became an alcoholic and later suffered from depression. He spent his last 20 years in a Northamptonshire lunatic asylum, God love him, but nevertheless wrote some of his best-known poetry during this time. But before I read what he says, often for the divine to touch us in a profound way, sometimes we have to hit rock bottom, as I did in '96. I'm not ashamed to say that through taking Prozac for reactionary depression to a dear friend's death and dying, but it was my breakthrough. Though I became seriously ill for 4 years through mental illness induced by Prozac, that was my breakthrough. That's when I was allowed to let go of the ego and to learn to walk again in a loving relationship with a God who wasn't about religion or fear. He was about love, acceptance. All nature owns with one accord the great and universal Lord. The sun proclaims him through the day, the moon when daylight drops away. The very darkness smiles to where the stars that show us God is there. On moonlight seas soft gleams the sky, and God is with us, waves reply. Winds breathe from God's abode, we come. Storms louder own God is their home, and thunder yet with louder call sounds God is mightier over all. Till earth right loath the proof to miss, echoes triumphantly he is, and air and ocean mix reply, God reigns on earth, in air and sky. All nature owns with one accord the great and universal Lord. Insect and bird and tree and flower, the witnesses of every hour, are pregnant with his prophecy, and God is with us, all reply. The first link in the mighty plan is still, and all upbraideth man. Isn't that just beautiful? It resonates with my heart. But here's another great teacher that does it for me, Cathal Gibran, 1883. He talks about the nature of love. Let us share with you what he says. Love gives naught but itself, and takes naught but from itself. Love possesses, not nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love, you must needs have desires. Let these be your desires. To melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love. And to bleed willingly and joyfully. To wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving. To rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy. To return home at eventide with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips. What beautiful words. Let us come to this table of love, and let us remind ourselves as we recite a mantra of our choosing. The mantra I use regularly is, I am a beloved of God. For too many years I thought I was an enemy of God because of leaving my vocation as a nursing monk. But I realized when I look back now, that was part of God's plan, to get me out of a situation where the God I loved had become a tyrant. And everything was institutionalized, where there was no love. It was all about duty and fear and guilt. But today, as a member of the Teo community, we are so blessed because each one of us brings our spiritual teachings, whether we're Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, pagan or Jew or Christian, and we are respected for who we are. And there are no rules or regulations like I had, where you spend something like 8 hours a day in church, in chapel, praying on your knees. But today, what we do, is out of love, not out of duty, and certainly not out of fear. As the great Buddha Dhampada said, hate is not overcome by hate. Hate is overcome by love. So let us take our place as the beloved of God. We may not be a practicing Buddhist or Christian or Jew or Muslim, and that's okay. You don't have to be a church goer to win God's approval. All that the Father, Mother, God asks of you is come back to your heart. Come back to your heart and listen to that inner voice that does not condemn you. It is the head, the ego, that condemns us. The heart liberates us. Let us take our place at this table.
For at this table there is an important guest, and this guest is the cosmic Christ, who calls you and me, ordinary men and women, who live and lead a simple life, but who may have many shadows, and those shadows need to be brought out into the open. They need to be named, they need to be blessed, and they need to be released so that we can be free. As we sit at this table, we are surrounded by our brothers and sisters gathered here. I may not know who you are, but that's not relevant. But I know someone who knows you by name and who called you by name, and it is the cosmic Christ. Let us sit and listen to him. What does he have to say to you? What is he saying to your heart right now? As you breathe in, you feel a fluttering around your heart. It is Christ consciousness, a heart consciousness. And you suddenly feel a warmth. It's because he's placed his hand on your heart. Because he desires you to be free, to choose the right path, to take responsibility for your life, to take back your power, to speak your truth in love. In the silence of this moment, let us listen to him speak to us. What is he saying to you? Be still now, and I call on the cosmic Christ, and I invite him to touch you. For he said to me, as he said to you, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am with you, and whatever you ask in my name, I will do it for you. I take those words to heart, and I have seen miracles performed when I've called on him and in his name asked him to touch others. I have seen him release people of many demons here in our little monastery. I have seen people turn their life around where no words were used, just the laying on of hands and thanking God for setting another free. I would like to do that for you. Let us close our eyes. And I call on the cosmic Christ, who is our brother, our teacher, our friend. And I ask him to touch you now. I ask him to fill you with his love. I ask him to open your heart so that you can see and feel and touch his love for you. It is a love that is devoid of religion. It is a love that has no boundaries. It is a love that is selfless, and it respects you. Receive his touch now. Feel his presence before you.
for he is the friend of the marginalized. He is the friend of the poor, the downtrodden, the prisoner, the prostitute, the gambler, the drug user and the alcoholic. He is a friend, a very special friend. Call on him and he will help you. I thank you, Lord Christ, for touching my brothers and sisters, because I take your word to heart and I believe in your word, for your word is truth. Let us be still and let us sense the peace and the love of a compassionate God, not the God religion has portrayed, a God of love who desires our friendship and who only asks us to surrender our heart so that we can receive nirvana, pearls of wisdom that will keep us in tune with our heart and embrace all that is sacred. Be still now. Be still and know that your God is with you. Be at peace. Be at peace. I would like to play one of Eva Cassidy's songs, Over the Rainbow, and I would like to dedicate it to you. I've just been guided to do it, and I'm going to follow my heart. Just listen to the words, because I know there's something there for you.
set you free. Namaste, Shalom, Inshallah, Pax et Bonum, Om Shanti, Solo di Caritas, Salakum Alaikum, and may the peace of God in all its richness touch your heart and let you be free. Until we meet again, same time, same place. Take care now.